Welcome back to Plate Levels. My name is Jacqueline Jimerson, and I'm so appreciative of the 2 people who watch my guacamole video. So today we're gonna start our holiday shows with some collard greens. These collard greens aren't your typical collard greens, so you have to watch to see how to make them. Let's get started. First, you need to start by thoroughly washing your collard greens. Once you have them washed, you wanna get a couple, maybe 2 at a time. Take them, and you just wanna start tearing into them like this. You don't need huge pieces, you know, about this big. You wanna avoid putting too many big stem pieces in it, so you kinda wanna go around the stem, like so. We have our collard greens washed and torn, so we can set those to the side. Let's focus on the broth. First, we wanna start with some beef stock. You can get your favorite brand. I always try to use organic. We're gonna do 2 beef stalks and 2 vegetable stalks. And what this does is give the greens a lot of flavor without having to use like a neck bone, because who wants to eat the neck of anything? A healthy way to get some flavor without eating odd body parts is to use vegetable stock and beef stock. Once you have your stock all poured in, you want to get about, this is a 1/4 a cup, but I'm not going to use the full 1/4 a cup of apple cider vinegar. Then we have about a 1/2 cup of light brown sugar. We're going to dump that in there. A couple of tablespoons of paprika. Let's do almost 2. I would say to do maybe, you don't want to do too much crushed pepper because this stuff packs a punch. So let's not fill the tablespoon all the way up to start. You can always add more, but you don't want to get them too spicy, just a little bit. About 3/4 a tablespoon, if that's the thing. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna add a little bit of water. And so if you have a pan about this big, for reference, this is a 2-gallon pot, and this is how your broth should look. So let's head over to the stove. Now we're heating our broth, so you kind of just want to stir it a little bit. Just for some added flavor, I'm going to add some bacon in. So I'm adding about 8 slices of bacon in there. That's just going to give it a lot more fat to it to give it some flavor. So, you know, we're always discussing on who should we be cooking this food for. You know, greens is kind of up in the air. So I would say you can invite anyone to have some greens, but you definitely want to invite a person who's going to be appreciative of it. You know, somebody who like washed your car, vacuumed it or something, but you know, not too much. They just did a little bit. They can have some greens. So you want to add a little bit of salt. I don't like a lot of salt in my food, so just a little bit as needed. And as this cooks, you want to really smell it. So once the broth smells really good, it's time to put the greens in. So we're just going to start placing them in. And I know it looks like a lot of greens, but they boil down very easily. These are going to be so yummy. And greens are a superfood, so they're really healthy for you. One of the few things you can eat during the holidays that just doesn't make you bigger. We have all of our greens into the pot. Just want to kind of stir them around. And then we have the heat up high now, but what we're going to do is put it in about medium heat and pop a top on it. Let's check on our greens. I think they're ready to be served. And they are. And this is how they should look. Okay, it's time to taste our greens. I wish I could share these with you because they're so delicious. They're perfect. So I hope you enjoyed watching me make greens, and maybe you're making some at home, and come back next week to see what we're cooking up for the holidays.